We are in an unprecedented financial recession, coupled with a worldwide pandemic, all whilst careening into a no-deal Brexit. Now, as the furlough scheme begins to close, people are facing job losses on a scale not seen for decades. So it seems a good time to resurface a policy that could just help to ease the financial burden on some of the worst affected people, whilst offering a nice little bonus to those in more comfortable positions. Let's look at universal basic income. So what is universal basic income? Well, the idea is that everyone gets given a certain amount of money, let's say £1,000 a month. This isn't means tested or traced, it's just given to every single person. It could potentially be higher for Londoners, but that's it. Now immediately you might hear alarm bells ringing, saying, but if people have free money, they won't work. Well, this isn't supported by any studies. When trialled in Canada and Iran, most people continued to work but just had more money to spend on other things, which actually helped the economy grow. The tiny percentage, less than 1%, that did quit their jobs generally took up studying, looked after their children, or went back to education. But won't people just waste their money? Well, no. Again, in 2013, a study was done by the World Bank which showed that poor people tend to spend less on drugs, tobacco and alcohol than wealthier people, and people on welfare spent even less on it. Plus, with the exception of drugs of course, spending benefits the economy. Even if, which again they don't, people spent their money on booze and cigarettes, they would still benefit society. In fact, alcohol and tobacco are so highly taxed that would even be more beneficial. But what's wrong with the current welfare system? Well, a lot. For a start, it's heavily regulated, and in fact some reports reckon we spend more money on regulating these sort of things than we save by doing so. But also it can trap people in poverty. Under many schemes, if you earn a certain amount, it is then deducted from your welfare, i.e., if you're given £500 a month and you then work a few shifts and earn £200, you'll only receive £300 in welfare. On top of that, you might have to pay tax or NI on that £200 and thus earn less than if you'd done nothing. See how that doesn't work? Under UBI, however, every penny you earn would enhance your financial situation. Anything you do would make you better off. So how much would a scheme on this level cost? Well, if the UK adult population is 53 million and everyone is given £12,000 a year, that is a whopping £636 billion. Now don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, but hear me out here. In the financial year ending 2017, the UK spent £264 billion on welfare. We're not saying that would be entirely wiped out, but a huge proportion would be. So if we say that's £225 billion saved, let's lower that 636 to 411. That's still a lot, so how can we source that? Well, maybe we look into taxation. The disparity between rich and poor in Britain is increasing at an unprecedented level. Estimates reckon that £70 billion is lost every year just by tax evasion, and the UK currently has some of the lowest corporate tax rates in the Western world. We also have a terribly imprecise upper band, which starts at people earning roughly £150,000. That's a lot of money, but also nothing compared to what some billionaires in this country earn. In another video, we'll talk about the myths surrounding raising taxes, but the point is that the money is there. We could also cut defence budgets, which is about £38 billion. Equally, some figures put our nuclear weapon spending as high as £200 billion. Do we really need to spend all that money? Overall, the point here is that the money does exist, and the potential benefits are numerous. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does secure a happier future for many. £12,000 would dramatically change the lives of millions throughout Britain, allowing them to pursue better careers, campaign for better working conditions, and educate themselves further. At a time when there simply aren't many jobs, maybe we should look into this scheme. So universal basic income not only might help our economy, it might actually save lives.